is overcoming pandemic procrastination. This is very timely since we are on a distance learning and most of our students is having difficulty when it comes to their studies nowadays, most especially the MDL or the modular distance learning students. To discuss to you about today's topic, overcoming pandemic procrastination, we have the guidance counselor of AICS Bacoor, as well as the guidance counselor of AICS GMA. So by the way, I will introduce to you myself. I'm Liza Guyo. I'm the guidance counselor of AICS Bacoor, and later on, Miss Jesi, the guidance of AICS GMA, will discuss to you some other parts of our. So at the end of this webinar, we will be able to know the meaning of procrastination, the relation of procrastination to the pandemic, which is the present situation in our community or in our place, and then ways on how. Okay, so what is procrastination? So this is to be slow or late about doing something that should be done. So this is very common to our students right now, no? Most especially in doing their assignments, in doing their activities. So um, hindi agad sila nakakapagpasa ng mga ginagawa nila, maybe for some other reasons. Or procrastination is to delay doing something until a later time because you do not want to do it, because you are lazy or some other reasons. We have a lot of reasons. And the next question is who? Who procrastinate? Me, you, students, teachers, everyone has the tendency to procrastinate. So they are called procrastinator. A procrastinator is a person who unnecessarily postpone decisions or actions. Certain personality traits are common among procrastinators, including low conscientiousness, impulsivity, low. So my question is, what causes procrastination? So we live in a world of distractions where electronics and apps are designed to grab our attention and encourage us to multitask. So ano po yun? Marami tayong disturbances around. We have the social medias, the FB, the Instagram, the computer games. So ang dami-daming um, umaagaw ng ating mga attentions. Okay? So the logical part of your brain knows you need to study, but the emotional part doesn't care. So bakit ganito? 'Di ba parang ang hirap-hirap gumawa ng assignment rather than scrolling at our FB, chatting with our friends, 'di ba? That's why this person, Team Urban, refers to this emotional part as the instant gratification market. And who are these? It wants fun and procrastination instead of hours of hard work, so will jump around in front of your face to try to get you to stop working. So parang inaagaw yung time mo, yung attention mo. So parang kapag mag-aaral ako, mahihirapan ako, hindi ako magiging happy. So, saan ako pupunta? Dito na lang muna ako, titingin na lang ako sa Instagram, maglalaro na lang ako. At least masaya ako, hindi pa ako nahihirapan. Parang nauubos yung time natin with this distraction such as social medias and yung paglalaro, 'di ba? Nagkakaroon tayo ng satisfaction and happiness sa ginagawa natin na mag-FB na lang rather than doing the assignments and the next one is why people procrastinate. Some of the common reasons for what causes procrastination include such as perfectionism, fear of criticism, low self-esteem, depression, ADHD, task aversion, decision fatigue, a disconnect with the future self, fear of failure, avoidance, a tendency to self-defeat, trouble focusing, waiting until the last minute, resisting challenges, difficulty defining goals, and lack of energy. So nakikita natin yan, no? So nababasa natin yan. At isa dyan maaari, isa dyan tayo yan, no? And then, um, maiintindihan natin yan later on. So Miss Jesi, the guidance counselor of AICS GMA, will discuss to you all of this um, reason kung ano yung dahilan bakit nagkakaroon tayo ng procrastination, no, among our. Okay, so now procrastination during the pandemic. Everybody experience or has difficulty with this COVID-19. COVID-19 has spawned global mental health crisis, and that's feeding one of our more harmful human tendencies, which is the procrastination. So procrastination, it is an emotion-focused coping strategy, no? Most especially now that we are in the COVID-19 pandemic. According to Tim Pichil, a psychology professor of Carleton University and Ottawa, Ontario, and author of the Solving Procrastination Puzzle, he says that procrastination, it is not a management problem, but it is an emotion management problem. So parang nagiging coping mechanism natin yung procrastination, no? So nagiging excuse natin yan dahil nga um, we are on the pandemic. So madami hindi natin alam kung ano yung reaction natin ngayon. Hindi our life is full of uncertainties. Kaya puro para makaka-cope up tayo, marami tayong reasons na parang ayaw nating gagawin yan. Parang defense mechanism na rin. Okay, so procrastination can be from a combination of mental and physical health issues. So, Nitin Desai says, a physician based on Fayetteville, North Carolina, the pandemic has caused increased stress, anxiety, and depression, leading to more individuals suffering from those underlying conditions, leading to more procrastination. And we have a scientific explanation about procrastination. People don't necessarily procrastinate because they are lazy. Procrastination has roots in our evolutionary development, with two key parts of the brain vying for control. And this is the limbic system and prefrontal cortex. Uh, and What is limbic system? Limbic system controlling basic behaviors such as the fight or flight response, as well as emotion and pleasure seeking. And the next one is the prefrontal cortex. These are responsible for more complex behaviors such as
Okay, thank you, Ma'am Lisa, for explaining everything about procrastination. Dito naman po tayo sa causes and solutions of procrastination. Once again, my name is Ma'am Jesi Ella, Guidance Counselor of AICS GMA. So, our first cause of procrastination is perfectionism. So, perfectionism might seem like a desirable characteristic. Perfectionists strive for high standard and to be the best at everything. But perfection is impossible to achieve, and aiming for it sets unrealistic expectation. As a result, they develop a fear of failure. They wind up putting things off because they feel they won't do something well enough or do it right. They wait until the right moment, that perfect time when they cannot fail. And that right moment never arrives. So, being perfect leads you to take more time in contemplating what and how things going to be perfect. And it ends up on not finishing a task and may lead to procrastinating. So, bakit perfection is stagnation? Kasi, kaka-contemplate mo ng mga bagay para maging perfect ka, ang hindi mo napapansin, hindi ka gumagalaw. Wala kang natatapos. Nagiging stagnant ka na. Yun yung ibig sabihin ng perfection is stagnation. Kasi mas maraming perfectionist na tao yung takot sumubok, takot simulan yung isang bagay hanggat hindi para sa kanya perfect ang lahat-lahat. Pero nalalabanan natin ng perfectionism. Paano nga ba ang solution natin for perfectionism? Well, our solution is the all or something method. Perfectionists tend to develop an all or nothing approach and think in this and think in extremes. Kunyari iniisip nila na ay hindi ko kaya tong simulan kasi baka ano ko eh, baka bobo talaga ako. Yung nga ganun. Or hindi ko siya mas magawa ng tama. And this leaves you with no between or gray area in the middle ground. Change all or nothing to all or something. Making mistakes is far better than not doing something altogether. You might not get 10 by 10, but by making an attempt, you still move past the point of doing nothing at all. Go for enough or what is necessary instead of the big embellished vision. So para sa mga perfectionist natin, mas okay na may ma-startan ka. So, ito pa yung isang technique para malabanan mo yung pagiging perfectionist mo. Kunyari ang week 1 ay merong dalawang activity. At alam mo na gusto mo, perfect pa yan, yung parehas na activity na yan. And then, nag-aantay ka ng right moment para magawa yung same activity ng sabay. Kasi iniintay mo kung kailan ka sisipag eh. Iniintay mo kung kailan gaganda yung papel mo or gaganda yung sulat mo sa ballpen. Pero ang pinaka-best way para makapag-start ka, gawin mo na yung activity 1 sa week 1. At least may nasimulan ka kesa sa wala. Pero being a perfectionist, mahirap baliin yung kung ano ka na talaga or yung kung anong kinasanayan mo. Pero para sa pagiging productive, kailangan mong tulungan yung sarili mo. Tulungan mo yung sarili mo na i-push na may magawa ka kahit pa konti-konti. Yun yung pinaka-best way para malabanan ng perfectionism at hindi rin siya magdire-diretso to procrastination. So, it is better to start a task than to have nothing at all. One must put themselves together to start things and must have a mindset of it is good to start doing something than nothing at all. No task will get done if you don't start doing it. Yun na lang yung lagi yung iisipin. Wala akong matatapos kung hindi ko sisimulan. And then, pag nasimulan mo na, dadagdag na kasi dyan yung adrenaline rush mo, yung momentum mo. So, hindi mo napapansin, natatapos mo yung mga task dahil nag-enjoy ka na rin. So, our next cause of procrastination is obviously the avoidance. Unpleasant or stressful tasks like finishing a large project, preparing your taxes, or studying for a final exam cause unpleasant feelings like fear, stress, or inadequacy. Dragging your feet to do something and focusing on low priority tasks is a form of unconscious avoidance. Procrastinators tend to prefer pleasure over progress. Well, that is why many students was focused on browsing TikTok, Facebook, or any game than starting their module. Avoidance can be a coping mechanism to protect self from unpleasant feelings like guilt or anxiety. But the more we avoid things, the more it is heavier to carry a task. Diba? Kasi ang ginagawa natin, tsaka na yan. Kasi nakakatakot gawin, parang ang hirap eh. Mas masarap mag-Facebook, di ba? Mas madaling gumaya ng mga steps sa TikTok kesa yung mag-compute ka, kesa yung maggawa ka ng mga kung ano-anong code sa programs, di ba? Pero, ang hindi nyo napapansin, ina-avoid nyo yung priority and yung dapat na task na ginagawa nyo. And it ends up na wala kang natapos at wala kang nagawa. Pero, ano ba ang ating possible solution for avoidance? Well, ang solution natin for avoidance is recognizing patterns of procrastination. Like other types of defense mechanism, procrastination happens in the unconscious mind. So you may not even realize that you do it. You must figure out what causes procrastination before you can start changing those habits. Kunyari, ang example niyan, recognizing the patterns. Magsa-start ka ng isang activity sa isang subject na alam mong hirap ka. Pakabukas mo pa lang, magsa-start ka pa lang magbasa, na nakaramdaman mo na sumasakit yata yung ulo ko. Parang nagugutom yata ako. Parang boring sa akin tong subject na to. Yun yung patterns na pag nararamdaman mo yun yung magsa-start ka na mag-procrastinate. Doon ka na pupunta sa mga pleasant things na ginagawa mo. Like Facebook, kasi ano namang stress ang makikita mo sa Facebook? Ano namang stress ang makikita mo kay TikTok? Diba? Hindi naman sila priority at hindi rin sila urgent. Wala silang deadline. So, doon na lang ako. Pero, yung recognizing the patterns, kailangan mong ma-recognize sa sarili mo para alam mo kung anong gagawin mo. Kunyari, nagbukas ka na ng book and then naramdaman mo na sumakit na ulo mo, walang gawin mo, kuha ka ng gusto mong food, yung affordable, yung kaya mong mabili, or makinig ka sa music, yung nag-enjoy ka. Or yung iba kasi, ang ginagawa nila, every time na nag-aaral, may food sila sa tabi. Bakit? Kasi, lalo na kung sweets yung kinakain mo, lalo favorite mo yung kinakain mo, hindi mo napapansin, habang kinakain mo siya, nag-enjoy ka rin gawin yung task mo. Hindi mo rin namamalayan na natatapos mo na siya. Kasi nagmo-multitask ng brain mo eh. Kumakain ka, and that's pleasurable. And pleasure yung ginagawa mo. Pero syempre, hindi na detect ng sarili mo kung alin yung pleasure o hindi kasi pleasurable na yung ginagawa mo eh. So, papasok na yung pagkain mo na pleasurable thing na ginagawa. So, kailangan kilala mo yung sarili mo, kilala mo kailan ka na magsa-start mag-procrastinate. And then, pag naramdaman mo yun, take a break or ituloy mo, pero samahan mo ng konting bagay na magpapaboost ng momentum mo or ng adrenaline mo para matapos mo yung task. So, next is low self-esteem. The research shows that people who procrastinate suffer from lower well-being and higher level of stress and anxiety, which can reduce self-esteem and lead to depression. People who chronically delay tasks engage in self-depreciating thought patterns about themselves and others compared to non-procrastinators. So ano ba itong low self-esteem? Dahil nagkaroon tayo ng pandemic, tumataas yung kaso ng depression. Tumataas yung kaso ng panic attacks and then anxiety. Saan ba nagsisimula? Bakit ba may mga ganito? So, minsan, ang isang root cause nun, nag-start na sa family. So, nagko-connecta na siya. Once kasi na may depression ka, mawawalan ka na rin ng ganang gumawa ng task. And then, pag feel mo, ganyan na yung nararamdaman mo, seek for professional help, students. Huwag kayong mahiyang lumapit sa guidance counselor nyo na mag-open ng problem sa kanila. And I know matutulungan nila kayo on how to get back on track. Kasi, aminin na natin, may mga tao sa bahay natin or sa buhay natin na pag share natin yung nararamdaman natin, tinatawanan lang tayo. Or sabihin sa isip mo lang yan, baliw ka lang, yung ganyan. Ang hindi nila nalalaman, yung mental health nyo, and then yung feelings nyo. Siyempre, example niyan, yung mga bata pa lang na nasasabihan ng bobo, ng tanga, nako-compare sa kapitbahay, sa kapatid. Siyempre, kung ganun yung kinalakihan mong environment, madadala mo siya paglaki mo. So, pagdating ngayon, ngayong senior high or college, ang nangyayari kasi, ay, bakit pa ako gagawa ng task na to? Bobo naman ako. So, lahat naman na gagawin ko, magiging mali na lang. Which is, yun yung pinaka cause, bakit ka na nagpo-procrastinate? Kasi mababa na yung self-esteem mo. Kasi may root cause, bakit na mababa yung self-esteem mo? Hindi ko naman sinasabi na lahat ng may bababang self-esteem ay mayroong depression, anxiety, or panic attacks. So, kailangan nyo pa rin mag-seek ng professional help for you to be clinically diagnosed with that kind of disorders. Pero dahil meron nga tayong kami, mga guidance counselor, pwede kayong lumapit sa amin and share your problems. O ano bang bumabagabag sa'yo, bakit hindi ka, ba't ka nagpa-procrastinate at mababa yung self-esteem mo. Pero kung gusto mo ng DIY or yung madaling ways on how to fight low self-esteem, dito papasok yung building confidence. It's not easy to build confidence, alam naman natin yan. Procrastinators put a strong emphasis on external validation. In other words, they worry a lot about what other people will say. They will value in themselves from the approval of other people and avoid doing something out of fear of criticism. Moreover, overcome this dilemma, start by looking at the root cause why one have low self-esteem. Pero itong ating building self-confidence, namumuhay tayo dito sa Asia. Pag Asian countries or lalo dito sa atin, hindi na ako lalayo, mas mahalaga sa atin ang sasabihin ng ibang tao. 'Di ba? So, kung ang sinasabi sa'yo lagi na bobo ka, yun na iniisip mo, bobo ka. Pero hindi, baka hindi. Kasi wala naman taong bobo. Baka naman, mas magaling lang siya. May mas magaling talaga sa atin and we must accept that. Na hindi tayo pantay-pantay ng level of confidence at hindi tayo pantay-pantay ng galing or skill sa buhay. Pero syempre, ang mga matatanda natin, nakalakihan na nila yan na mag-compare. And then nakalakihan na rin natin na tayo, mga tao dito sa Philippines, na mas nananaig sa atin yung sasabihin ng ano sasabihin ng tita mo, ano sasabihin ng kapitbahay natin, ano sasabihin ng tatay mo, ng kapatid mo. Yun. Pero kaya nga nandito tayo para mag-build ng self-confidence, di ba? Yun nga yung sinabi ko kanina, alamin nyo dapat yung root cause. Pag nag-gets nyo na kung saan yung root cause, doon kayo magsa-start kung paano unti-unti na magkaroon ng positive self-talk. Kasi ito sa low self-esteem, mas pinakikinggan nyo ang negative self-talk nyo. Pero kung malalaman mo na kung saan yung root cause, and then isipin mo kung ano yung mga bagay na napagdaanan mo na walang na sinabihan ka na mahina ka pero napagdaanan mo. So, bit by bit, magkakaroon ka ng confidence and it takes practice at matagal na process ang pagkakaroon ng confidence. Lalo na kung kinalakihan mo na hindi, nawala kang, hindi ka confident. Pero, gaya na sinasabi ko kanina, kayo lang din ang makakatulong sa sarili nyo. So, tulungan nyo yung sarili nyo, i-push kayo pataas. So, our next cause of procrastination is waiting until the last minute. And everyone is guilty. Bakit? Kasi hindi lang naman kayo students ang nag-aantay ng last minute para magpasa ng deadline. Pati kami, teachers nyo, guidance nyo, or kung sino mang nakapaligid sa inyo. Pero not all na nag-wait sa last minute ay procrastinators. So, bakit nga ba? Procrastinators often make claim that they put off tasks because they perform better under pressure. They make a habit of waiting until the last minute to get that rush of euphoria at completing a task on a time against the odds. Kasi 'di ba, meron kayong tinatawag na adrenaline rush. Well, totoo naman 'yon. Na pag natataranta ka na, diyan na gumaganang lahat. Pero ang hindi niya nakikita dito sa waiting until the last minute ay yung mga room for errors. Hindi nila yung napapansin eh. Bakit? Kasi ang mangyayari niyan, mag-aantay kayo ng last minute kasi kanyo doon nyo nakukuha yung pinaka-best na kayo. Pero syempre, pag ginawa nyo na si module nyo, makikita nyo na hindi pala siya kayang tapusin agad. Sana pala nagbigay muna ako kahit 1 or 2 days kasi hindi ko pala siya kayang gawin ng isang upuan. Well, waiting the last minute rarely work out as planned. People like this don't give enough time to do something well. Putting off work until the last minute leads to unnecessary errors that compromise quality of work. There is no room for improvement for this. Kasi syempre, wala na eh. Kung kinabukasan ng pasahan, gagawin mo lang yan ng madaling araw. Eh, paano kung nagsabay-sabay ang task? Paano kung na overlook mo na itong task pala na to mahirap? At meron pala siyang mga experiment na kailangan gawin ng mga ilang days pa bago matapos yung task. Eh, ginawa mo na siya nung madaling araw eh. Eh, mamaya ipapasa na siya. Meron naman tayong solution dito sa waiting until the last minute. This is the Pomodoro Technique. So you can actually trick your brain in doing things on time, substituting smaller units of time, 10 days instead of 1 month. Well, nag-start ang Pomodoro Technique kay Francesco Cirillo. Siya yung uh, nag-start na gumawa ng technique na ito. And then yung Pomodoro ay Italian word for tomato. Bakit ba? Kasi meron tayong sinasabi na daily planning. Siyempre, dito sa daily planning natin, makikita na natin kung kailan ang pasahan or kailan ang submission ng isang subject. Example, Monday siya lagi binibigay. And then Friday siya ipapasa. Ang gagawin mo, Thursday ng madaling araw mo lang siya laging ginagawa. Ang nangyayari, putyo-putyo yung gawa nyo. Or talagang, alam mo yung halatang minadali, halatang hindi na pinag-isipan. At students, nahahala tayo ng mga teacher. Kung kailan nyo in-effortan to at kailan hindi. So, itong task na to, pwede nyo dayain ang brain nyo. Example, binigay siya ng Monday. Automatic, kinabukasan, gawin mo na siya. Ang mangyayari, dahil sabi nyo nga, meron kayong adrenaline rush, at pag medyo natataranta kayo, tsaka kayo nakakagawa. So, ang gawin nyo, instead of gawin nyo siya ng Thursday, kasi pasahan na sa Friday, gawin nyo siya ng Tuesday. Pero, bigyan nyo ng time limit yung sarili nyo. Magharap kayo ng clock or timer. Tingnan mo nyo muna yung activity. Isipin nyo kung kaya nyo ba tapusin in 30 minutes or 1 hour. Kunyari, 30 minutes, kaya ko tapusin tong activity na to, 30 minutes lang. Well, instead of 30 minutes, gawin mong 20 minutes lang. Iharap mo sa yung timer habang ginagawa mo yan. So, every time na nakikita mo yung timer, natataranta ka. Mas namamadali mo yung gawa mo. Ang hindi mo namamalayan dito, matatapos mo na lahat yung deadline na yan ng Friday pa, natapos mo na ng Tuesday. Kasi na-trick mo na yung brain mo eh. And then students, hindi naman sabay-sabay talagang nagpapasa ang mga teachers nyo. Hindi talaga nagsasabay-sabay yan. May magsabay man na 3-4 na subject, pero as in, hindi sila pare-parehas ng deadline. So, alamin nyo kung ano yung pinaka urgent na ipasa, yun yung i-plan nyo na agad. Kasi yung mga task naman na ipapasa na rin agad or yung kinabukasan ng ipapasa, sure naman ako na mga madadaling task siya. Pero ito yung step by step on how. Choose the priority task according to your daily planning. So, si daily planning ay i-explain ko later. Well, ito, set the timer, concentrate on the task, tapos, take kayo ng break every after task. Kasi ang paggawa niyang modules, hindi naman kayo aabuti na maghapon dyan. Pwede kayong magbigay sa sarili nyo kahit 2 to 4 hours a day para lang gumawa ng modules. Huwag nyo rin naman lunurin ang sarili nyo sa paggawa dahil hindi yun healthy. Pero kung nag-wait kayo until the last minute, wala kayong choice. Talagang magpupuyat kayo hanggang sa wala kayong tulog para lang makatapos. And yun yung hindi maganda. At yun yung kailangan yung iwasan. So the next is trouble focusing. Psychologists have found a strong link between difficulty concentrating and procrastination. For example, people with ADHD often find it difficult to get a project started. Once they do, they have trouble knowing how to prioritize, plan, and stay on track. When hindi lang yung may mga ADHD o yung mga may autism ang may trouble focusing. Kahit yung mga normal people, kayo, hindi naman porket binasa nyo ang modules, naka-focus na kayo, or naituro ni teacher ay naka-focus na kayo. Minsan ang focus nyo nasa iba pa rin. Yung nakatingin kayo dyan, nakikinig kayo, o nagbabasa kayo, pero yung utak nyo nasa pagkain. Yung utak nyo nasa step sa TikTok. Yung utak nyo nasa Mobile Legends. 'Di ba? May mga ganon. And then, hindi rin natin maiiwasan, meron tayong mga slow learners. Yung mga slow learners natin, isa rin sila sa mga may trouble focusing. Kasi iniisip nila kung paano nila mag-gets yung topic eh. And then, hindi nila nag-gets ang topic ng isang pasadahan lang. Ang nangyayari sa kanila, bit by bit, kailangan nilang balikan, kailangan nilang isipin. And that is normal. Meron talagang mga tao na slow learner, pero normal sila at wala silang any psychological problem. Pero meron naman din tayong ways on how to combat trouble focusing. This is managing distraction. Di ba, kung matatalaan nyo or kung nakita nyo na ito, sa palabas ni Tony Gonzaga, ni Angel Locsin yata yun, 4 sila eh, 4 Sisters and a Wedding Untitled. Merong sinasabi si Tony Gonzaga at may memes na kumakalat niya sa Facebook na options, options, options. Yung memes na yon ay okay, maganda siya, maganda na marami kang option. At ikaw naman talaga pipili ng mga magagawin mo sa buhay. Pero, ang hindi nyo alam, yung mga options na yan ay nagiging distraction din sa atin. Kasi marami tayong iniisip eh, dagdag sa isipin pa. And then, yung mga apps sa cellphone, another, iisipin mo pa rin. So, kung gusto mo na maka-focus ka or ma-improve si focus mo, try mo tong mga step na to. Una, depende sa'yo ha, meron kasing gusto ng tahimik, meron gusto ng nag-music sila para naka-focus sila. And then, i-notification off nyo muna yung mga apps nyo para walang distraction pag nag-aaral kayo. Sabi ko nga sa inyo, ilang minuto lang yan, ilang oras lang yan. Sabi, mag-break naman kayo every after 20 minutes or every after 30 minutes. Pwede nyo naman hawakan yung phone nyo at mag-reply or mag-chat or what. Pero habang gumagawa kayo ng isang task, try nyo na naka-deactivate muna yung mga notifications. Place anything distracting in a different room outside your workspace. Set up a quiet workspace alone and free from distraction. Take scheduled breaks to rest your brain. Or ito yung mga task management apps like Trello or Toggle. Pero ikaw, alam mo sa sarili mo ano nakaka-distract sa'yo. Baka naman nadidistract ka dun sa manok ng kapitbahay nyo o sa aso ng kapitbahay nyo. Eh, wala kang choice kasi sa bahay ka lang, di ba? Magsuot ka ng headset para hindi mo masyadong marinig. Meron din akong student dito sa GMA na ang ginagawa niya, umaalis siya ng bahay kasi mas nakakapag-focus siya pag wala siya sa bahay. Dapat kilala niyo yung sarili niyo para alam niyo kung alin yung nakaka-distract sa inyo. At yun muna yung pansamantala na alisin niyo pag gagawa kayo ng modules or pag gagawa kayo ng responsibility sa school. Next is decision fatigue. Have you ever stared into a closet of clothing and said, I don't have anything to wear? Well, procrastination can occur when we have too many options. It takes mental energy to make decisions. We can put things off if they depend on our capacity to make decisions. When you can't figure out what to do, you'll likely avoid taking action in case you make the wrong choice. So, maulit ko lang yung kanina, yung options ni Tony. Ang tawag doon ay decision fatigue. Ang nangyayari kasi, pag marami tayong option sa buhay, or marami tayong kailangan gawin, nagkakaroon tayo ng tendency na naubos yung oras natin kakaisip anong unang gagawin. Ano yung pwede kong gawin? 'Di ba? Meron tayong week 1 to 7 na modules. In that week 1 to 7, meron ding 8 to 9 subjects. So, marami kang options. 8 to 9 subjects yun eh. Tapos, week 1 to 7. Siyempre, sa week 1, 9 subjects agad. Or 8 subjects agad ang gagawin mo. So, itong decision fatigue, ang nangyayari dyan, kunyari, lahat yan magsasabay-sabay ng pasahan ng Friday. Monday, nag-start ang week. So, Monday, 9 agad yung option na meron ka, alin yung una mong gagawin. Yan ang hindi maganda, yung marami kang option. Simplify your options. So, ang mangyayari, ito ang magiging solution natin. Simplify your decision. Liitan mo ang decision mo, liitan mo yung options mo. Weigh things down. Alin ang hardest, alin yung easiest. Remove the number of apps on your phone or turn off app notifications gaya na sinabi ko kanina. Make a habit of daily planning, focusing on tasks one by level of importance so you don't have to constantly think about what to do next. Prioritize your commitments. Put the most meaningful at the top of your to-do list. Take inventory of the people in your life. Put time aside for the people who matters the most and know when to walk away from toxic relationship. So, start muna tayo sa yan, turn off yung app nyo. And then, yung halaga ng daily planning. Sa daily planning naman kasi pwede nyo naman gawing weekly planning eh. Dahil kunyari, yan sa modules nyo, meron kayong 5 days na gagawin si modules nyo. So, ang gawin nyo, alam nyo yung pinakamahirap o alam nyo yung deadline ng isa, alam nyo yung mga activity ng isa, i-weigh down nyo na siya, i-level nyo na siya. Level 1 to level 9. Level 9 is the hardest, level 1 is the easiest. Para sa akin, kung alin ang urgent, yun ang unang gawin. Magkaiba kasi yung urgent at important. Magkaiba yung urgent sa hardest. Kunyari, ito ang pinakamahirap sa akin. Pero kasi, itong pinakamadali sa akin bukas napasahan. Alangan namang unahin mo pa yung pinakamahirap, di ba? Ikaw naman ang magde-decide niyan. So, medyo may halaga talaga ang weekly planning or daily planning para hindi na maubos yung oras mo, kakaisip, alin uunahin ko, ano kayang gagawin ko. Kakaisip mo kasi na ano kayang gagawin ko, ano kayang unahin ko. Hindi mo napansin, nakaubos ka na ng 5 minutes. Hindi mo napansin, nakaubos ka na ng 30 minutes, nakaupo ka lang kasi iisip mo pa alin yung sisimulan. So, yun nga, simplify your decision. Kung ito, kung ayan, ayan. So next is resisting challenges. Procrastination often happens when a challenge seems too difficult. A person avoids taking on a challenge out of fear they won't do a good enough job. To avoid doing something hard, people who procrastinate may say to themselves na ayoko, paano kung magkamali ako, paano kung hindi ko magawa na maayos. Well, avoiding negative emotions might sound like a good idea, but real growth often feels unpleasant, sometimes downright painful. People stay trapped inside their comfort zones like a prison. Well, marami naman talagang guilty dito. Siyempre, pag comfort zone mo na yan na yung kabisado mong gawin eh. Yan yung alam mong gawin eh. Alangan namang umalis ka pa. Panibagong pakikisama. Panibagong challenge. Pero, hindi ka nag-grow kung lagi ka lang na nasa comfort zone mo. About ito sa sa mga works nyo, school works or paper works, paano kung ito lang yung alam mong gawin? Yan, true or false, drawing. Yung sunod mong subject may computing. Hindi naman pwedeng hindi ka na mag-compute. Part siya ng priority mo. Part siya ng plan mo. Part siya ng course mo. So, kailangan mo siyang gawin. Diyan papasok yung make things possible. Kasi ang daming impossible eh. Isipin niyo na lang yung mga napagdaanan niyo sa buhay na naging possible, yung mga imposible. So, paano nga ba yung magiging solution for resisting challenges? Dito papasok yung daily planning. Ang halaga ng daily planning ay parang sunod-sunod yan eh. Gaya nung cost number 1, do sa perfectionism, hanggang dito, parang kailangan ng daily planning. So, start by doing a daily planning. And daily planning may cost you or may cost you na mag-buy ng time or mag-waste ng time. Kasi ang tagal mo rin mag-plan eh. Alam ko lahat kayo, pag tinry nyo ang daily planning, ay bibilang kayo ng mga 30 to 1 hour. Daily planning pa lang yun. Ano pa yung week? Di mas matagal. Pero, ang hindi nyo nakikita, practice naman eh. Kaka-practice nyo ng daily planning. Hindi nyo mapapansin na, itong pinlan ko na ito, applicable siya this week. Di mas naging madali. And then, kaka-practice nyo ng daily planning, mas mabilis nyo magagawa yung plano nyo. Ang maganda pa doon, pag nakagawa kayo ng mga plans, malalaman nyo pa kung ano yung sisimulan nyo na at alin yung hindi pa. So, start by identifying your most important long-term goals and break them into small steps. Kunyari, si English ay meron siyang hanggang week 8. So, syempre, week by week nyo siyang tatapusin. Kunyari, every Monday si English, every Monday nyo na siyang gawin. Diba? Set aside a small portion of each time each day or week toward work towards those hard dreams. As complete each step, celebrate small wins along the way. So, ang gagawin nyo, natapos mo na si week 1. Tuesday pa lang, natapos mo na si week 1. Lahat ng activity sa week 1, natapos mo na. Friday pa pasahan. Mag-celebrate ka ng 3 days. Talagang iwalwal mo, i-Facebook mo maghapon, i-TikTok mo maghapon. Kasi doon yung mga pleasurable sa'yo eh. At least wala ka ng bit-bitin na dala-dala pa ng Thursday to Friday. Or bili ka ng mga gusto mong food para lang i-celebrate yung hard work mo. Kasi every time na nasa-celebrate mo yung hard work mo, yan yung nilulook forward mo ulit eh. Sa another week na, pag naging ganito ako ka-productive, magiging ganito rin yung treat ko sa sarili ko. Mas magaan. Organized people successfully overcome procrastination because they manage the task using to-do list and schedules. So, syempre, part ng daily planning ang to-do list at schedules. These tools help to prioritize your life and meet deadlines. So, gaya ng mga kapaulit-ulit kasi sinasabi kanina, pag meron kayong daily planning or yung mga to-do list, Alam nyo na agad yung gagawin nyo. Mariready din nyo na yung sarili nyo. At the same time, mariready nyo na rin yung mga things na kailangan nyo para doon sa mga activity na yon or doon sa mga project and assignments na gagawin nyo. So, all in all, ang procrastination ay hindi time management problem. Problem yan ng sarili mo. Problem yan ng isip mo, ng katawan mo, and then yung mga unconscious feeling and fears na nararamdaman mo. Ang procrastination kasi ay para siyang depression. Hindi mo masasabi sa taong depressed na, uy, di ka pwedeng ma-depress o di ka pwedeng malungkot. Hindi pwedeng ganon. Same lang sa tao na nagpa-procrastinate o yung mga procrastinators. Hindi mo pwedeng sabihin sa kanila na hindi ka pwedeng maging tamad. Eh kung hindi yun yung nararamdaman nila. Kailangan yung isipin, kailangan nyo rin mapakanamdaman kung ano yung nararamdaman nyo at nararamdaman ng mga ibang tao makapaligid sa inyo. So kung procrastinator ka, ikaw mismo, student ka, alam mo nagpa-procrastinate ka na, help mo yung sarili mong hatakin pataas. Huwag kang magpapakalubog doon sa mga bagay na alam mong panandalian lang. Ang mga ginagawa niyong pleasurable things ay panandalian lang. Pero ang priority task nyo, yan yung bumibigat at gumagrabe over time. So that's all. I hope na marami talaga kayong natutunan sa akin at kay Ma'am Liza about overcoming pandemic procrastination. Well, ilagay nyo lang sa isip nyo kung paano kayo magiging productive every day. And see you on our next webinar. Maraming salamat, students. Bye!